Alright, it's time to start on Advent of Code Day 6. Something is jamming your communications with Santa. Fortunately, your signal is only partially jammed, and protocol in situations like this is to switch to a simple repetition code to get the message through. In this model, the same message is sent repeatedly. You've recorded the repeating message signal, your puzzle input, but the data seems to be quite corrupted, almost too badly to recover. Almost. All you need to do is figure out which character is the most frequent for each position. For example, suppose you had recorded the following messages. The most common character in the first column is E, in the second is A, in the third is S, so on. Combining these characters returns the error corrected message, Easter. Okay. Given the recording in your puzzle input, what is the error corrected version of the message being sent? Alright, let's have a look at our puzzle input. Alright, we are going to need a file for this one. Okay. So this one here, I'm going to need let input equal, const input string equal include str, and it is puzzle.txt. Puzzle. Okay. So now we have our input puzzle, and it's time to start cracking away at it. So let's also write a function, which is going to be our decrypt. Not decrypt, decode, better word, which takes an input of type answer and yields out a string. Okay, and then in our main for now, let's just pump in this. So we will say print line decode /n/. Formatting large amounts of data is always the fun thing about getting these puzzles tested. I suppose I could take another file, but won't be the fun in that. Okay, and then you don't need anything else because you're just going to get closed there. And all of you get to come in a line. All right. Let me output equal. Okay, for line in input. Let mute. Maps equal spec #map new. That's going to need to be the length of our output, which we're going to determine by the length of the first input. So we will say input let input len, or let len even equal input dot lines dot next, and then we take our first line and we say what do we need to do? We need to say length Okay, so that's going to dynamically give us a bunch of hash maps. So for every line here, is it called line? I hope it's called line. Where's my standard library here? String, split, lines. Yeah, it's called lines. Awesome. Okay, for line and input.lines. Okay, so we need to do for index character in line.cars dot enumerate. Because if we look at the iterator and we look at enumerate is, yeah, okay. So for each of these, what we need to do is we need to say you guys should actually be B-tree maps, but maps index dot insert no dot, I need the hash map entries API. Entry, the key will be the character, and the value, and then with our entry we will do or insert 0. You get to be incremented. Yeah, okay, so this is how they're doing it. Okay. So that is for every single character for the length of all of our characters, going to give us a B-tree map. So now we need to do for map in maps, and we can consume this. We need to say, we need to find the largest hash maps have a I mean, they're B-tree maps, but does binary heap do what I want? No, you don't have keys and values. Maximum value in a hash map. Is there any kind of hash map max function? No. Alright, let's just write something real quick and dirty then. So for each map in map for KV in let me largest equal 0 null byte for KV in, which we will rename as character count in map, if count is greater than largest.0, character is equal to, then we say largest is equal to count character. And then at the end we say output.push largest.1 print line, no, return output. This is what I get for having everything configured to be fast. Is I have a stupid key. Okay, cargo, run this in release mode, please, and just give me an output. You do not like the fact that there is a trailing A somewhere. Hello? There. And you do not like the fact that that file cannot be found. Let me go dump that into the source directory instead of having it in the root directory. I just did that on my other monitor. Don't worry about it too much. Hello. Doesn't know about B-tree map. Cool. Use std collections B-tree map. It's lines, not line. Cool. It spat out Easter. It works. Now, instead of doing it with that nonsense, just do it with input. Don't work, I dare you. What a useful message. That was correct. That had no right to be correct. Alright. Part 2. Of course, that would be the message if you hadn't agreed to use a modified repetition code instead. In this modified code, the sender instead transmit what looks like random data, but for each character, the character they want to send is slightly less than the others. Even after signal jamming noise, you can look at the letter distributions in each column and choose the least common letter to reconstruct the original message. In the above example, the least common character in the first column is A, and in the second, D, and so on. Okay, so we're just doing least common thing in the repetition code. Cool. Fn decode least input string yield string. Copy all of the exact same code, like literally to the letter. This may be the easiest part too, if I'm like understanding what they're asking right, that they've given me so far. And now here, change that to smallest, change that to like some really big number, and by that I mean input dot lines dot count +1, which is the equivalent of infinity here. If the count is less than the smallest 0, except it's called smallest, not largest. What are you going to spit out now? Except you need to be decode least. Batu Pask, that is not going to be, if that's correct, then something is silly. Okay, well, Batu Pask. Awesome. Thank you all for watching episode 6.